close-up look at all your Concho Valley High School football. This is Inside the Game. Sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.
Well, howdy and happy Friday, Concho Valley, and welcome back to a new season of KSAN's Inside the Game, where we take you inside the games here in the Concho Valley. I'm your host, Griff McClellan. Guys, the wait is over. The 2025 high school football season is officially upon us, and tonight we have all the scores and highlights of your favorite teams. So without further ado, let's dive right in, starting with a highly anticipated all-Concho Valley matchup between Mason and Wall. Perhaps the game of the night, you can say, a clash of titans. 12th-ranked Mason facing 3rd-ranked Wall. Wall's opening drive after the coin flip there, after a penalty took away a score, Landon York, quarterback to Hagen Barbie, first Wall touchdown of the year, 8-0 after the successful 2-point try. Moving forward a few possessions later, Wall at the 1 again, touchdown handoff to Jagger Thompson, 15-0 Wall. And just before halftime, Hawks connect on a long TD here in just a second. Wait for it. York is going to find Reed Robertson deep. Wall with the early 22-0 lead, running away with this one as he struts down the sideline. This is the 9th straight year for these Concho Valley powers to lock horns. Mason leads the all-time series 14-11 coming in, but Wall won last year's game 28-6 on its way to the Class 3A Division II state semifinals. The Hawks won 4 straight games from 2019-22 against Mason, and the score at last check, Wall is just in complete cruise control, 49-0. A side note, Mason is down a handful of starters, hoping to return next week. And that said, we're now going to send it out to Brian Cunningham, who is live inside Clayton Weissoon Field, the home of the Wall Hawks, for more on tonight's matchup. Brian, take it away.
And we're here at Clayton Weissoon Field as we are wrapping up Wall versus Mason right now, and it's 48-0. It was really no contest, given that Mason is missing 4 to 5 of their top players. That is coming from Wade Griffin pregame. It's one of the things that he told us is this is a game for them to gauge, but really they don't know how they are at full strength right now, given the injuries. And we're going to flip to Wall. Wall, they look at midseason form, a 48-0 route over the Punchers. And what did we see? We saw 3 touchdowns in the first half. The opening drive touchdown was caught by Reed Robertson, and then we also saw Reed Ballard Hagen Barbie put his name into the hat as well, getting a touchdown, and they wrapped off with a 22-0 halftime score. We're here now, like I said, at Clayton Weissoon Field as they wind down 48-0, 3 minutes to go in this game, and right now we are seeing just a little bit of dominance, but these two teams are poised to make a big run each for this season. Down here from Clayton Weissoon Field, I'm Brian Cunningham. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Brian. Now over to Central. Let's take a look at our lone 6A team representing the Concho Valley, traveling to Abilene for its season opener. Head coach Mark Smith begins year 2. First quarter, Central comes up with a first break. Tristan Beal has the ball stripped from him, and the Bobcats recover. Head the other way. 2 plays later, the Bobcats get a crease on the far side of the field and a whole lot of green grass. He is brought down at the 2-yard line, setting up 1st and goal. Next play, Micah Smith keeps it, breaks a tackle, and he's going to score. QB keep there. Central leads 7-0 early on. Still the first quarter. The Black Shirts make a play. Abilene, that is. The Eagles hold up the running back, and Jaden Starks strips the ball, and he heads the other way now. Got green grass in front of him. How about that? A 63-yard big man lineman dream touchdown. We are tied at 7. 3rd and short for Central in this next possession after that touchdown. Abilene High stands up a pair of Eagles as make the tackle as the receiver catches it. That forces a Bobcats punt, and looks like this one's in the books. Central falls short 42-21 in Mark Smith's debut of his 2nd season. Central looks to bounce back next week. And on to Class 4A, the Lakeview Chiefs hosting the Fort Stockton Panthers at San Angelo Stadium. Second quarter, Chiefs down 7-6 in a pretty low-scoring one, at least so far early on. Keep that in mind. Chris Alvizo hands it off left side. Now it's cut upfield. Getting good for Chiefs. First down. Lakeview marching downfield before halftime. Alvizo in the pocket. Looks deep to his left side. Throws just out of the reach. Oh, amazing attempt at a one-handed catch. A couple plays later, though, Chiefs deep in Panthers territory. This time, Alvizo goes to the corner, and it's hauled in. Touchdown, Chiefs. Braylon White makes a spectacular diving catch. Chiefs up 12-7. Lakeview opts to go for 2 and go up 7 at halftime. And check out this second effort. How about that? Hauls it in, comes back, and stretches it across. The plain 2-point try good. And at last check, Lakeview leads. Running away with this one, 42-7 in the 4th quarter. All Chiefs, second half. Now over to Class 3A. TLCA hosts Tahoka. Head coach Brad Leo looking to establish a new culture in 2025 after a winless season last year. First quarter action, TLCA driving down the field, and the Eagles draw first blood on this touchdown strike to wide receiver Justin Reynolds. The Eagles celebrating. Thrills the crowd with this acrobatic catch in the end zone. Celebrates with his teammates. 6-0 Eagles. The Eagles decided to go for that 2-point try. Ultimately came up short, got a penalty. And Jackson Shoshone comes up just short of the goal line. Second quarter action now. Tahoka trying to catch up. This pass attempt falls incomplete as TLC's defense comes up big. Time run out in the first half. TLC just looking to run out the clock. Chris Rangel carries the rock but gets tripped up by Tahoka. The Eagles hung on for a 6-0 lead at the halftime. But TLCA was super hungry for a win after not getting any last year, as previously mentioned. But unfortunately, looking like it was all Bulldogs in the second half. They'll come up short tonight at last check, 28-12 Bulldogs. And staying right here in the Concho Valley, just a couple miles from the station, Grape Creek hosting San Saba. The Eagles looking to avenge last season's Week 1 loss. Early first quarter, Grape Creek with the ball, handoff to 11, who finds a lane and heads down the sideline to the house, giving the Eagles the early 6-0 advantage. Later, the Armadillos return the favor, though, with 3 rushers in the backfield in this interesting-looking formation at the 1-yard line. And watch this, just waltzes his way into the end zone. Tie game. Point after try also no good, so we're still tied at 6-all. And from that point on, it was all visitors. San Saba gets it done down the stretch, walking out of town with the win. Final score, 27-12, Armadillos. And, of course, wrapping up Class 3A action, the Brady Bulldogs hit the road in San Antonio, facing the San Antonio YMLA Lions. Brady's quest for the program's first state title since 1959 began tonight against its same Week 1 opponent a year ago. Tonight marked just the second time these schools have faced each other, and tonight it's all dogs. Final score 60-0, a shutout. Now we're going to take a quick break, but don't leave, because when we return we'll have scores and highlights from Class 2A. All things over the Concho Valley. Don't want to miss it, so we'll be right back. And inside the game, Week 1 edition. As promised, let's now dive into some Class 2A action throughout the Concho Valley tonight, starting with an all-Concho Valley matchup. Yes, that is Cristobal and El Dorado. Both the Eagles and Cougars finished in the bi-district round last year and opened up non-district play against each other tonight. We go to the first quarter, Eagles in the red zone when Johnny Ray Dem goes deep over the middle to Brayson Brock, who hauls it in and dives into the end zone with the extension, make it 7-0 Eagles. Things were pretty quiet until the second quarter when the Eagles began driving again. This time, Dem goes over the top to the big man Garrett Walling, who brings it in and keeps the drive alive. The Eagles keep it on the ground game with an inside run to Brayson Brock, who picks up some nice yards before taking a big hit around the 7-yard line, marching into Cougar territory. But it would pay off as it would set up this quarterback keeper from Dem. Eagles would go up into halftime up 14-0 on the Cougars and would fly away with the win, soaring 24-14. And back-to-back Concho Valley matchups to start this segment. Staying in 3A Division 1, Broncos taking on the Bulldogs, Sonora and Miles, to open up 2025. Miles opening possession, a pick six for Sonora, though. Sets the tone early, kicks this game off 8-0 after the 2-point attempt. Sonora, though, a few possessions later, outside run, breaks a few tackles here. Watch this. And foot races for another score. The Broncos go up 14-0 early on. Miles with the ball again, scramble drill to the QB's left. Liam Yessi throws his second pick six of the game, just not the Bulldogs' night. Sonora up now big, 20-0 on the road. And that's all she wrote. Sonora cruises, taking this one by a final of 40-0 on the road. And a little rematch of last season when Sonora gets a little revenge after losing 32-14 in Week 1 last year. And Ozona kicking off non-district action over in McCamey against the Badgers. The Lions ran all over the Badgers in last year's season opener, 60-0. Tonight, same result, nearly identical results. Ozona absolutely dominates, 65-0 now in head coach Jason Pitt's debut. And Sterling City taking on Odessa Compass Academy for the 4th straight year. The Eagles came in 3-0 all-time versus the Cougars. And tonight, it's not looking good, though. Kellen Luker down 28-0 in his coaching debut at last check. Odessa Compass on pace to get its first win in this new series. And over to Junction. Eagles coming off the Junction Eagles, that is, coming off a magical 2024 season, winning its first district title in 21 years. Kicks off non-district play at its home field in this top 20 matchup. Junction looks like, as of now, it's going to defend its home field ahead 27-16 over the 17th-ranked Goldthwaite Eagles at last check. Now it's time for another quick break, but stay put. We'll be back with some 6-man action right after this. And howdy and welcome back once again to Inside the Game Week 1 edition. It's now time to view scores and highlights among, as promised, Class 1A, also known as 6-man programs. First stop, we visit the Water Valley Wildcats. New head coach Trey Sisko makes his debut. Some nice 4K footage there after serving as defensive coordinator a season ago. Opening drive of the game, first play of the season for the Wildcats here. Handoff to Brandon Lacey, and he knows what to do with it, taking it 27 yards to the house, 8-0 Water Valley. Very next drive, second play of the season for the Wildcats. Second play, that is, handoff to the senior Boston Wees, running back, right side, a stiff arm, and 25 yards later, he's in for another Water Valley touchdown, making it 16-0 Cats. But Water Valley far from done in this one. Third drive of the game, they're going 3 for 3. They give it to Branson Lacey again, and he breaks it out for a 44-yard house call, giving the Cats now a 24-0 advantage. Still first quarter. A toss from Boston Weiss to Landon Lacey, the quarterback. Boston clearing a path for the senior for another Water Valley TD. Final score, Water Valley 54, Grand Falls Royalty nothing. And the Robert Lee Steers make easy work of Lorraine Thursday night, pulling off a road shutout win in just the first half alone. 52-0 the final score. Robert Lee gets the win early thanks to a mercy rule, defeating the Bulldogs by 50 or more for the second straight year after an impressive 78-28 win just a season ago. Robert Lee begins its 2025 campaign on a high note. And Erie County entered its matchup 4-9 all-time versus Buena Vista, looking to change that tonight. These teams meet for the fifth straight year. Buena Vista had taken 3 wins in the last 4 matchups, and now make that 4 or 5. Tonight, Buena Vista gets it done. Final score 49-26 from Longhorn Stadium. Verabest on the road at Zephyr Thursday night again. These squads meeting for the 6th straight year and simultaneously 6th all-time meeting. Zephyr came in ranked 11th in the state for Class 1A Division II, and they make a statement, blanking the Falcons. Another shutout tonight, 46-0 on the other sideline. Verabest's woes continue, dating back to last year after missing the playoffs with a 1-3 district record despite an earlier 7-0 start. And Paint Rock traveling to Eden, taking on the Bulldogs. These two have tons of history with each other, dating back to 1929, 96 years. Eden leads the series 26-8-1 all time. History is certainly on the Bulldogs' side. Safe to say the Indians come off a winless 2024 season, and the woes continue for them, unfortunately. Final score, Eden 50, Paint Rock nothing. Menard hitting the road in Blanket at Switzer Field, a matchup of 2 ranked teams, 19 versus 21. The Yellow Jackets stung lots of opponents last season, starting 9-0-1 before falling short in the area round of the playoffs. Last year's meeting between these two ended in a 14-14 tie. You may notice that tie in Menard's odd record there. That's exactly what it was. Tonight, though, Menard cruises 57-25, a 32-point win on the road. And another ranked Concho Valley team represented tonight, the 15th ranked Blackwell Hornets. There was certainly lots of buzz starting this matchup of Hornets, but Blackwell entered the series 0-3 all-time, dating back to 2022. Tonight, though, more of the same. Aspermont runs away with this one, stinging Blackwell 72-24. And our final game highlight takes us to Bront. The Longhorns kicked off their new season Thursday night. Coach Rocky Rawls returns to the sideline after a year's absence. First quarter already 24-0 Bront. Offense explosive early on, but that's not all. The Longhorns defense forces that fumble. Andrew Rico there for the recovery. Bront came up empty on the ensuing drive, but zooming ahead second quarter, touchdown Longhorns. Joel Pena plows his way up the middle, putting Bront up 4 scores, 32-0. Bront not done dominating yet, though, and how about this? Watch this. Tight end Raymond Williams puts the secondary on skates, makes 2 defenders miss. Draws oohs and ahs from the home crowd, that is. 38-0 now. Bront's Aiden Sperry adds another TD right before halftime to ice it, to lead 45-0. And that's all she wrote. Bront takes it by that final score. Game called at half again via mercy rule. Time to call one final timeout tonight, but before we resume coverage with our next lineup featuring trivia, the biggest Week 1 headlines, and an early preview to Week 2, so stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, folks. One final time. Thanks for sticking around tonight. Before we conclude tonight's show, let's talk about our annual high school football trivia challenge. You don't want to miss this. Of course, with football season comes our annual Concho Valley High School Football Trivia Challenge. To enter the sweepstakes, simply visit our website, ConchoValleyHomepage.com, click the contest tab above, and submit your answers each week for your chance to win the ultimate grand prize, a $100 HEB gift card. That's what we're talking about. The grand prize winner will be announced at the end of the season in mid-November. A date to be determined. And now looking at tonight's trivia question, how many Concho Valley High School football programs introduced a new head coach in 2025? Is it A, 7 schools, B, 1 school, C, 2 schools, or D, 8 schools? Remember to visit our website, ConchoValleyHomepage.com, to submit your answer. Now to some Week 1 headlines. Central falls short on the road, losing to the 9th-ranked Abilene Eagles for the 3rd straight year. Mark Smith comes up short in his first game of his second season. Central looking for a turnaround next week, which we'll get to momentarily. Lakeview absolutely, though, dominates at home after a slow start in the first half. Chris Alviso and Braylon White connected a bunch, went off, blitzing Fort Stockton, the visitors. Wall, also 3rd-ranked Wall, that is, dominates a short-handed Mason Punchers squad. We mentioned it earlier, Mason was short-handed with 4 of its key players out tonight, so not a great start for the Wade Griffin era. Wall picks up right where it left off, though, in 2024, looking to resolve unfinished business this season after reaching the state semis a year ago, hungry for revenge this year and even go further. And Sonora gets revenge on Miles, blanking the Bulldogs 40-0 on the road in an all-Concho Valley matchup. Now looking ahead to Week 2, Central returns to San Angelo, hosting Amarillo this time to continue non-district play. Mark Smith looking for the Central's first home win of the year. Get the team tied up at 1-1 in the season. Lakeview, though, obviously sharing with Central at San Angelo Stadium, is going to hit the road, taking on Snyder. The third-ranked Wall Hawks visit Brownwood, looking to avenge last year's Week 2 loss. 17-7, a pretty low-scoring one that time around. 12th-ranked Mason, though, looks to bounce back, hosting Brady in an all-Concho Valley matchup. Brady looked red hot tonight as well, winning 60-0. That'll mark Wade Griffin's home debut. And finally, another all-Concho Valley showdown. El Dorado and Arizona both coming off impressive Week 1 wins. Go head-to-head next Friday night. And that's all tonight for Inside the Game. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in again next week. But until then, have a good night. Concho Valley.
Catering for Inside the Game is provided by Chick-fil-A.
Inside the Game is sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.